So maybe you find yourself constantly replaying old memories and wondering over and over again, what could I have done differently to make this relationship work? Was everything my fault? Was I good enough in this area? Am I lovable? Will I be alone forever now? Well, if this is anything that you're experiencing, this painful rumination cycle can be absolutely devastating after a breakup. And trust me, it doesn't make your healing journey any easier. So how can you break free from ruminating constantly about an ex so that you can finally have peace of mind and feel secure within yourself? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do starting today that will completely revolutionize how you deal with a breakup and give you the opportunity to really move on and stop having to go through this tormenting cycle of constant thinking about somebody who doesn't necessarily even deserve to be in your life any longer. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Gibson. I'm so glad that you're here and that you stopped by. I put daily content out here about different attachment styles. By the way, if you want to learn more about those, you can click the link below in the description just to read about each attachment style at a high level. And I also put videos about dating, relationships, healing, especially from childhood attachment wounding. And I've been working in this field for over a decade. What can you do if you are in this position where you find yourself constantly ruminating? Because I know that it's absolutely exhausting. Well, the first thing is I want you to start challenging the thoughts that you have. I want you to imagine that you're letting your thoughts run amok. They're running on autopilot. And anything that we have happening on autopilot in regards to our thinking, we are believing as if it is true. So I just want to take you through this for example. Maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking about how your ex pulled away, and maybe you're telling the story, this means I'm unlovable. I knew that they never loved or cared about me. Nobody loves and cares about me. I'm going to be alone forever. I'm not worthy of being loved. Okay. And trust me, this actually isn't something that's uncommon for people. So I want you to imagine that you're sitting there and you're thinking these thoughts. Well, the moment that you have these thoughts go through your mind unquestioned, if you pay close attention to your body, you are emotionally reacting as if they are an absolute truth. In other words, you're sitting there and you're feeling completely unlovable, completely unworthy, the regret of feeling like everything is your fault, like it's all weighing on you. But we need a reality check. When we actually have these subconscious old thought patterns running, we can use our conscious mind to actually engage with them and be like, hold on a second. Is this even actually true? So I want to ask you, if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm going to be alone forever, how do you feel in your body when you just have that thought running on autopilot? Probably not very good. But if you're able to actually sit there and question that, hold on, can I 100% know that I'm actually going to be alone forever? Or is this just a story I'm telling myself? And what you'll find is that you cannot possibly know that you're going to be alone forever. And it's not helpful or useful to be telling yourself that narrative. And so if you can sit down and question this, you can start to get a little bit of relief. Okay, everything was completely my fault in the relationship. Can I 100% know that that's true? Probably not. It takes 2 to tango. And I'm sure if you honestly looked, you would see actually the other person also did a whole bunch of things wrong. There are a lot of reasons why this didn't work out that are not just on me. And so we can challenge these thought patterns, and it can help us come into a centered space where we're not just going full steam ahead down a path of thinking things that actually cause us harm and really, in a sense, are forms of self-attack. Because truly, nobody's hurting you more than you're hurting yourself in the moment that you're believing those things. So that's the first question. And the first point here, by the way, if you try to write out, if you're sitting at your computer or this is something that you want to work on, try to even just think about these things in detail. If you're driving or something like that, you can always, just think about these things. But what are some of those patterns of old stories you tell yourself? I'm going to be alone forever. I was never good enough. I'm unworthy. I'll never find somebody like this again. We can really torture ourselves with these thoughts. And again, you are fully in the emotional reality of that being an absolute truth if those thoughts pass by and you don't question them. But when you're able to consciously evaluate them and question them, you can really get out of that torturous cycle of just constant rumination. Number 2, we often find ourselves in a situation where you're doing this because you're trying to get needs met from them, that you're disempowered to meet within yourself. If you've ever noticed this, you'll see that each attachment style, the biggest things that we need from other people are actually things that we basically suck at giving to ourselves. So I'll give you an example for each attachment style. An anxious attachment style, what do they need from a partner? They often need the partner to soothe their emotions, make them the biggest priority, make them feel wanted and important. Why? Because anxious attachment styles struggle to do that within the relationship to self. They don't know how to prioritize themselves because they people please everybody. They don't know how to be in a situation where they make themselves feel wanted and want to spend time with themselves. They often don't know how to soothe their own emotions, so they outsource that to other people. So we outsource all the places we struggle within ourselves. Fearful avoidance. What do? They're like, nobody better ever lie to me ever. Not a white lie, not the tiniest lie. I better never see any incongruency in somebody's story. Everything better line up perfectly so that I can trust them. Because fearful avoidance don't know how to trust. So they outsource it, right? They go, okay, somebody else better be perfect so I don't have to deal with any of my own trust issues. But again, these are solvable problems. Instead, we have to heal our own trust issues. And then that will help us be cautious and vet and select the right partners, but also be able to work through little conflicts if we see incongruencies. And dismissive avoidance. They're often like, I better have the perfect partner where I never have to have a conflict because I don't know how to move through conflict with anybody. So I have to find the perfect person I'll never have an issue with because they don't trust themselves to actually just hash something out if there's a problem. So what you'll see, right, is that we outsource our needs. And then when we miss somebody, we ruminate about the person because we feel like they were the source of these needs. So I want you to ask yourself, what needs did this person meet? Are you so stuck on them? What needs were they meeting? Did they make you feel wanted, important, special, prioritized? Did you have novelty with them? Did you have exploration or fun? Like, what were the things that you got so attached to? And start meeting those needs in your own life. And that will be a huge step forward in terms of your healing. Now, before I get to point number 3, I just want to let you know that if you're somebody who is struggling with these things, you don't know how to self-soothe, you don't know your own needs, one of the best things you can ever do is actually learn what those things are and practice learning to have healthy habits and strategies to support these in your life. It will make you a master at self-soothing, which will make you way less needy and anxious in relationships. And I have a course you can check out fully for free for a limited time. It's for 14 days. We have a 14-day free trial. We do this once a year for Black Friday. I'll put the link down below and it'll give you access to not just that course, but every course in PDS. You'll have more than enough time to get through at least that course, probably even a couple of other ones. And there's a whole attachment style healing bootcamp program for each person. You can check that out. All of that's available to you. So fully for free, just for a limited time. You can check it out down below. Last thing, somebody who isn't ruminating, what they do is they learn to refocus them on themselves as a priority. So they will sit down and they will say, okay, I'm going through a hard time. They will have compassion for themselves going through the hard time. And they will be like, what do I need to care for myself right now? Is it to lean on friends? Is it to have people around? Is it to focus on what I want out of this next season of life? Is it to have healthy boundaries around my ex and make sure I don't look at their social media and constantly rip off the Band-Aid, or make sure that I don't find myself talking to our mutual friends about them? Like, no, like, what are my boundaries? How can I care for myself? How can I put support systems into place in my life? Because I have this compassion and care for myself going through this hard time. And if you're able to do that and refocus your energy on yourself instead of them, that will also be a powerful next step to healing and washing your hands of this once and for all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out that free 14-day trial to everything at PDS, because I hope you can really go through at least a couple courses and really see all of the help and support that's in there for you. You can also join me on webinars and ask me questions live together. That's it for today. Thank you for stopping by.